first point, it says that leadership is about virtue, because virtue is that which creates trust. There is no leadership when there is no trust in leaders. It's about virtue because virtue is a dynamic force that gives you the capacity to do what we expect from our leaders. That's the first thing. But virtue means power and the capacity to do certain things that are necessary in leadership. The second thing is that the basic virtues that we've mentioned, the 4-1, courage, self-control, justice, and prudence, are the foundations of leadership. And the essence of leadership, the core virtues of leadership, are magnanimity and humility, greatness and service. The third thing is that leaders are not born, they are trained. You are born with a temperament, and this temperament is by biology. You're hot-blooded or you're shy. This is what's called temperament. But leadership is not about temperament. Many shy people have become very great leaders. For instance, Robert Schuman, the founder of the European Union, is a very shy personality. So leadership is not about temperament. You're not born a leader. Leadership is about character. It's about the virtues that you develop, about the second nature that you create in yourself through the exercise of freedom. So leadership is a very positive science. The science of self-development, science of freedom, science of responsibility and creativity. And the last point is that leadership is a real ideal, life ideal. It's not just a spiritual exercise. It's a life ideal because magnanimity and humility, greatness and service, these are things on which you can base your life, your existence. You can base your existence, your life, on the idea of greatness and service. You cannot base your life on courage. It's too small. You cannot base your life on self-control. This is even smaller. You cannot base your life on prudence, on wisdom. You have to base your actions on those 4 virtues. All your actions have to be based on those 4 virtues. But you cannot base your life on those 4 virtues. But you can base your life on magnanimity and humility, on the idea of greatness or excellence, and the idea of service to others. So leadership is much more than what we can expect. It's not only a spiritual exercise, it's a real life ideal. That's why it is very attractive. This leadership I present is very attractive because people understand this is about meaning of my life. This is about my whole life. Leadership is another word in order to speak about fullness of life. In other words, magnanimity is desire for fullness of life. And humility is desire to sacrifice for others and to love them. And these are very innate things in any human being. These are ideals. So leadership is much more than what we can imagine. It's not a technique. It's not a spiritual exercise only. It's a real life ideal. Because the key virtues of leaders are a real life ideal. You see my point? So it's very attractive. Of course, when you present it this way, people understand that this is not only a choice. Leadership is about self-fulfillment, self-realization. It's about becoming a real, integrated human being. So it's an obligation for every people. And leadership is a way of being. It's not a position. It's not about being a CEO. It's not about being a president. It's a way of thinking, a way of behaving. It's a way of being. Did I answer your questions?